are average at best. I mean, their starting cornerbacks are not that good. I mean, Chris Houston, he's their best cornerback, and that's saying a lot. And Matt Ryan, he hasn't been getting mainly by the Dallas. The Dallas defense got him good, and Carolina roughed him up last week. So, as hungry and how talented the Giants' defensive front is, and they have so many talented pass rushers. So I'm going to go with the Giants 20-17.
Chris.
I am also picking the Giants. I feel that their defense will step up this week. It's going to be in the cold weather, so I think the Falcons will have a problem adjusting to the cold weather. They're running the ball all right. They're not throwing as good. The Giants, their defensive pressure has to come up. The secondary has to step it up just a little bit more. If they can get the running game going, and if Eli Manning can get the passing game going, they should have a good day. Matt Ryan has been struggling, but you never know what could happen on any given day. Sunday, that is. So I'm picking the Giants to win. I would give it 28-24.
Cleveland.
And then we've talked about it. And I hate to beat the dead horse with this, but the Falcons are terrible against the run. But something we haven't realized lately is the Giants are terrible running the football these days. Brandon Jacobs not getting his usual 5 yards a carry, which is kind of disturbing. But you know what? It's the Giants. They turn it on. They did this in 2007. But, I mean, just turn on the second half of the season, which I'm very much expecting that to happen this week. I'm hoping that the team shows up. So I'm going to go ahead and pause and say they can't lose their fifth straight. I'm going to say that with great certainty. So I got the Giants winning this week, 24-21.
One last thing before. I'd like to mention that the Falcons are 1-3 on the road, and that trend should continue this week.
And for our wild card game, the San Diego Chargers at Mile High, the Denver Broncos. Cleveland, tell us about it.
Oh, man. I mean, it comes back to, this goes back to last year. This goes back to week 17 of last year. I'm very much excited to watch this game if I get to watch it on TV. But, granted, San Diego has turned it on in the past 3-4 weeks. It's been amazing what they've been able to do. The comeback victory starting against the Giants, how they just single-handedly hurt down Philadelphia in their last game. It was very much inspirational to see, and they've creeped back on Denver, who now will be without Kyle Orton possibly for next week. So I mean, I'm sorry, Chris Sims may be from UT, but John Elway's not walking through the door anytime soon. So but one thing I don't, in a matchup like this, I don't put stats against this. I will put the temperature for the game time temperature 41 degrees at Mile High Stadium. 41 in Denver is not going to be like 80 degrees in San Diego. So, but at the same time, Phillip Rivers has told me he can win there in the cold. So I'll give it to San Diego this week to take control of that division.
Doug.
All right, they already met once this year. Denver beat them up pretty good, and that was on the road. But now they're back at home. San Diego's playing much better football than Denver is at this point, and San Diego's showing a little bit of spark from LT. He had 2 rushing touchdowns in the last game, 96 yards. For that, I like the Chargers to win 38-27.
JB.
All right. Now, LaDainian Thompson has been playing lights out the last few games, and he recently found out that he's going to be a father, so he had extra motivation against the Philadelphia Eagles as he rushed for nearly 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Denver has been playing subpar the last few games. I mean, Baltimore pretty much brought them back to earth. And then going on, who else did they lose to?
Pittsburgh.
They lost to Pittsburgh. And then they lose to the Redskins. The Washington Redskins. Now, I don't want to just say they're just god-awful because, I mean, if you're in the league, then you're good. You're good enough to play. And with Cal Orton going down, I mean, they didn't have a reliable backup to lead the team. I mean, Chris Sims, I wouldn't want to my team's future relying on Chris Sims. And if Chris Sims is forced to start, he will get punished. And I want to go with San Diego 31-17.
Chris.
Well, since Kyle Orton is out and they have Chris Sims for the Broncos, Brandon Marshall probably will not have a great game as he did last time. I see the running game for the Broncos is terrible. The defense might be able to stay with them for a little bit, but I think the whole game, I think they'll get tired. They get worn down. As far as San Diego offense, starting to click a little bit. Phillip Rivers will have a good game. Their defense, I'm not feeling their defense at all. I'm not big on San Diego's defense, but they should win the game. I mean, the crowd would be in the game at least for the first half a quarter, maybe to the first full quarter. But I think that the Chargers will run away with it in the second half, so I'm giving it 24-10.
And since it is at Mile High, there is a question I do have. Will there be more San Diego fans at Mile High?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
No? Alrighty. And for our upset special, the Washington Redskins at Dallas Cowboys. Washington, 15 points. Chris.
The Redskins are coming off a good win against Denver, while the Cowboys are coming off a terrible loss.
Yeah, I was going to say embarrassing loss
Against the Packers, which they got 70 points, which should have been a shutout. Anyways, I'm going to be objective now. Okay. Redskins, they are struggling, as we know. Jason Campbell did have a good game, no turnovers, 1 touchdown. Romo had 1 interception and 1 touchdown. Shouts out Charles Woodson. The Cowboys, they're running the ball good, but they're not running the ball enough. Because everybody, last game, they had at least 4. The team itself averaged 4.4 yards a carry. But they're relying on Romo's arm too much. He threw the ball 39 times, which is entirely too much, especially to have Tashard Choice, Marion Barber, Felix Jones. You got to run the ball more. As far as the Redskins, they did lose Clinton Portis, but Betts did step in, had 26 carries, 100 and something yards. He had 2 touchdowns. I feel that the Redskins' defense is a question, but considering that it is a divisional game, I think they will step up this week, especially playing in Dallas' new stadium,
Jerry World,
whatever you want to call it, Mall of America, whatever you want to call it. But I feel that the Redskins will step it up, and I mean, it's starting to get that time to where the Cowboys usually start to choke during the later half of the season based on facts. So, yes, I'm picking the upset pick. I'm picking the Redskins over the Cowboys. I don't care about the score. Redskins over the Cowboys.
JB.
I think you are full of shit. Mainly the Cowboys. You're right. The Cowboys didn't run the ball enough. They have a 3-headed monster with Smash, Dash, and Tash. You put the names in order of it however you want it. Yeah, Romo did throw the ball 39 times, and he was targeting Roy Williams a little bit too much. Roy Williams did have a great statistical game, but he perhaps had one of his worst games. I mean, you catch a pass for 40 yards, you fumble down the middle of the field. That was the turning point of the whole game. Now as far as Washington's offense, I mean, how anemic can you get? I mean, anemic is Washington's offense. That sounds almost like a disease, almost like the Oakland Raiders. And what I'm going to say is Jason Campbell, he's going to be running for his life all game long. I mean, I predict DeMarcus Ware to have 3 sacks. At least 3 sacks. If not DeMarcus Ware, Jay Ratliff. And if not Jay Ratliff, everybody else. I mean, they can't run the ball. Not on our defense. I don't think so.
They can throw it.
Yeah, who's going to throw the ball? Oh, you better rely on Cole Brennan.
Who's going to defend the pass in that secondary?
Who's going to defend the pass in Washington secondary?
JB, the Cowboys win.
The Cowboys win easily.
Doug, what'd you think about it?
All right. Well, as much as I hate these two teams, I guess I should still break it down. The Skins' defense is a bit better than most people think. They showed a nice ability to run the football with Liddell Betts and Rock Cartwright, 174 yards in their last game, 2 touchdowns. Jason Campbell has been given a bit more time to stand back there and pick apart the secondary. But with that terrific Dallas pass rush led by DeMarcus